Hello, hello everyone. So I'm just waiting for Chantal to come onto the call with me here, and we are so excited to come and just chat with you a little bit more about our Breastfeeding from the Heart class, which we have a couple of classes coming up soon. So today we're going to be sharing a little bit more about our Breastfeeding from the Heart class, which we run every on the first Saturday of every month. And so our next class will be Saturday, May the 6th. Okay, Chantal is here. Let me see if I can invite her. I'm just getting used to all these technicalities. So thanks for your patience, everyone. Let's see if we have Chantal here. So I was just saying we have two upcoming Breastfeeding from the Heart classes. The first will be happening. Hi, Chantal.
Hello.
So the first Breastfeeding from the Heart class, or the next Breastfeeding from the Heart class we have will be Saturday, May the 6th. And that will be happening at the All Birth Center in Kelowna. And then the next class that we have coming up is Saturday, June the 3rd. And both classes take place from 1 to 4:30, and we're blessed to have the All Birth Center to teach out of, which is just this beautiful space. If you haven't been in there yet, Kathleen Stanford is the owner of the All Birth Center, and we love it. Right, Chantal? We love teaching there.
Yes, we love it. Great space.
Yeah.
Really central in Kelowna as well, so.
Yeah. So as a part of our little chat today, we wanted to kind of give you a taste of our Breastfeeding from the Heart class and what it is that we teach, and kind of the energy of the class. And so we wanted to share today prepare for a breastfeeding journey. And so we so Chantal, do you want to share a little bit more about why we think it's important to prepare for breastfeeding?
Yes. Hi, Cecilia. I remember you so much from the photo shoot. Thanks for joining the call. Years ago, we did a breastfeeding photo shoot. So anyways, Cecilia, I've known for a long time. Thanks for joining us. So, okay, well, don't we do so much preparation for our wedding, for the day, you know, for birthday parties and anniversaries, and of course, birth preparation, and that's amazing. But we often forget to prepare for breastfeeding, right? We just think, oh, it's natural and I'll just breastfeed, and there's a baby and there's a breast, and yeah, it should be that way. It's just that, you know, we often don't see anyone breastfeeding until we're expecting or it's in our awareness. And so we're a little bit rusty. It's like we've forgotten how to do that. You know, we notice all over Kelowna, but of course this is the same in other areas in North America, that initiation rates are really high. People want to breastfeed, but then, you know, we see that it dropped, like, you know, a month, 2, 3, by 6 months, it's quite low. The rates are pretty low here in Kelowna. I've heard as low as 30%. So I'm not sure what they are now, but it's pretty low. And why is that? It's not because they can't. It's often because of a lack of support. And, you know, moms and babies, they've never been, you know, it's never been that we are supposed to do this alone, you know, in a cave by ourselves. We're supposed to be in community. And so that's why we want to talk about this, because there's so many amazing benefits of breastfeeding longer term than just you know, the newborn stage, right? There's so many like long-term awesome breastfeeding reasons, like connection and microbiome and regulating our emotions and immune support and like jaw development, and the list goes on and on and on. So anyways, let's talk about our 5 tips that we think are awesome to prepare for breastfeeding. And yes, Cecilia, it's a different Cecilia. I see in the comments. I know two Cecilias, so now it's the Mexican Cecilia. So thank you for clarifying that.
Oh. All right, so for our number 5 point on how to prepare for breastfeeding, we suggest to observe and practice natural breastfeeding positions, which are also known as laid back breastfeeding positions. But we love the term natural breastfeeding positions because it really speaks to the fact that it is a more traditional way of breastfeeding, and it's a more relaxed and a more comfortable way to breastfeed. But not by laying back and allowing baby to have their own instincts really be initiated on your chest. That is when breastfeeding can really get the strongest start, is by using natural breastfeeding and these laid back breastfeeding positions. And so we also know on the point of observing breastfeeding, so even if it's watching videos, watching, like even looking at breastfeeding photos, breastfeeding is such a right brain activity, meaning that it's something that we learn when we are observing it. It's not something that we can intellectually learn all the information and then be really effective at breastfeeding. It's something that we have to observe and practice in order to be really successful. So the more that we can see other women breastfeed and the myriad of potential challenges and issues that may come up, the more that we can prepare for our breastfeeding journeys. So I'll just share that even as a midwife, like I had been a midwife for almost 5 years when I had my first son, and I started attending the breastfeeding circles that were in Kelowna at the time, the Breastfeeding Cafe, because I wanted to just be in the environment of other breastfeeding women and kind of like learn about what I didn't know. And I learned so much. So I just feel like it's such a rich experience to be able to spend time with other breastfeeding women. If you're preparing for breastfeeding or if you are breastfeeding, connect with other people. All right, number 4. Chantel, go for it.
Number 4 is prepare for a baby moon. And so, we've all heard of the honeymoon, right? Where we go off and we connect, and we're doing that with our baby, our family unit. So the more you can do to set this up for yourself, this time and space where you just have someone do all the things for you, like cook for you and clean for you and buy food and walk your dog and like just do all the things so you can really
take care of your other children.
Take care of your other children, exactly. And so do some laundry and just allow yourself to really connect and get to know each other as a family is amazing. And that's something that I was able to provide or set up for myself with both of my babies. Luckily, my mom was able to come hang out and do all that. And that was amazing. So that is something that is, in other cultures, that's very necessary and instrumental in setting up parents for success. And so, yeah, I really feel like it's so important, if at all possible, to do as much as we can to set ourselves for that up. So I recommend a baby moon if you can do that. It's amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so number 3, ways to prepare for your breastfeeding journey. Take a look at who your support people are. So speaking of setting yourself up for a baby moon, who can be those people that you call? So like Chantel, I was lucky enough to have my mom come, especially the second time when I had a second baby, to come and just be present in the house, to cook and just run the household so that I could sleep and rest and allow my body the time to really recover in a way that it needed so that I could make adequate amounts of breast milk. I feel like that's a really important piece that can be missing, where if we get back to life too quickly and we're rushing ourselves to get back to getting out to the grocery store, or even cleaning our house, or doing laundry, when we're rushing to get back to that stuff, we're denying our body the chance to really, really rest in a deep and nourishing way. And that's so important for breast milk production. And so back to this point, who are my support people? How can you set yourself up to have an opportunity for this deep rest, to recover from pregnancy and childbirth? And so if you don't have parents that can come and stay with you, or in-laws that can come and stay with you, who are your friends that can come over and bring you meals? Meal trains are a really common thing. And so, but I feel like often I see it with people who have church communities. But people can set them up just within their own friend groups. And I've definitely been on the receiving end and the giving end of meal trains. And it's such a beautiful way to support families after they have a new baby, is just bringing a hot dinner, a big nourishing meal that's going to take care of mama and dada or partner, and the whole family for a day or two. And also, I've seen another way to go about this if you don't have family is to actually post on the door, like, welcome, we're so glad that you're here to meet our new baby. If you wouldn't mind, while you're here, here's a list of things that we need help with in our household. Since you're here, maybe you could fold some, like, you can meet our baby, we're so happy you're here, but also maybe you could fold some laundry, some dishes, or maybe you could, take our toddler outside for half an hour while we rest. Or, there's a myriad of ways that you can kind of, it's hard sometimes for women to ask for help, and for all of us, I guess, but also especially for women, when we're used to taking care of everybody else around us, it can be hard to ask for help for ourselves. So those are some strategies that you can use to make it easier to ask for help. It's like having that written list so that people can choose themselves and remind, like, that's just there to remind people that, Chantal, I don't know if you had any visitors like that after you had your babies, but I definitely had a few visitors who, came over and just kind of wanted to hold the baby and wanted me to bring them food and drink. Thankfully, I was vocal enough to speak up for myself and say, you need a drink? Sure, go ahead. The fridge is there, or like the kettle is there. Like, make me a cup while you're at it. Okay, so back to our list.
Number 2, set up some breastfeeding stations in your home. And so I'm a big meditator, and one of the meditators that I really like to listen to is David G. And he always says, comfort is queen. So be comfortable before you meditate. Be comfortable, and that comes back to natural breastfeeding positions. It's very important for mom to be comfortable. And so make sure you have spaces in your home that are comfortable, where you have lots of pillows and, maybe some soft light, maybe a salt lamp, some diffusers with oils like lavender, or oils that help you relax. Because, at times it's going to be stressful. You're going to be breastfeeding this baby 24 hours a day, at different times of day, and it's nice to have a relaxing space for you for those times, right? Lots of water, exactly, some snacks, and anything that helps you bring comfort. So make sure one of those spaces is in your bedroom, and maybe in the living room, and wherever else that you like to hang out. So you want to make your whole world breastfeeding friendly. So if you have an outdoor space, like, just make sure you have like a footrest and pillows, and just like set yourself up so that you're not uncomfortable, because you want to be comfortable. It's really important to take care of yourself as you're taking care of this new baby.
That's such a good reminder at this time of year too. Like I loved having an outdoor breastfeeding station. I had like an old rocking chair that I kind of put a blanket over and put some pillows on and made it comfy. And then it became a favorite breastfeeding station because it was shade. It was in the shade, but I could be outside, and being outside is just one of my favorite things. So it really brought me a lot of comfort while nourishing another little being. So that's such a good reminder.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and then are we
Number
down to number 4? Okay, so one way to prepare for your breastfeeding journey is to take a prenatal breastfeeding class. And we happen to teach a prenatal breastfeeding class called Breastfeeding from the Heart, as I've already mentioned. And so we would love if you would join us. It is a class that is often for first-time mamas, but also it can be for families who wish perhaps they had a better breastfeeding journey with their first child. It's a great class for you to come and just, remind yourself about all of the breastfeeding, different information, and maybe learn some tips that you didn't learn the first time that could really help in your breastfeeding journey. So, in our breastfeeding class, we really focus on giving you a lot of information. Of course, we want you to know about breasts and breastfeeding and timing of breastfeeding and how to know that your baby's full and all of those good things. But we also give you other tools to prepare yourself, such as little breathing techniques and little meditations that you can use if you're feeling stressed and you're having a challenging moment and you are trying to breastfeed through that moment. Or we give you lots of troubleshooting tips too for like early challenges and when to reach out for support. And we really try to set you up so that you are able to troubleshoot simple early challenges, but also quickly when to reach out for help if things are going a little bit in a challenging direction. Because we find that when people are having breastfeeding challenges, but then they reach out for support early, the earlier that we can get to them, the better the outcome often. So that's our top 5 list. And Chantel has a little bonus, right?
Yeah.
A bonus.
I was going to say the class is also for partners. So we just want to make sure that it's available. We encourage partners to also come because, we don't always remember everything. And it's so nice to have someone on your team, your breastfeeding team. So yes, I want to make sure everyone knows that partners are for sure welcome. So we have an honorable mention, and for me it's when in doubt, go back to basics. And so this goes for preparation, this goes for after, this goes for any time really, but going back to basics. So if your overwhelm takes over, it's just beneficial to come back to our breath, come back to resting, come back to nature, slowing down. That allows us to come down, into this space of overwhelm and fear, come down into this space of heart space. And that's just going to be so amazing when you're breastfeeding. If you can just, if your head is just taking over and going down and bringing up old stories, and so then going back to those basics just really allows us to just observe those that inner narrative that's coming up so that we can release it. So that's my my go-to, is to relax and go back to basics. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love
that. Really speaks to what I was saying about how breastfeeding is a right brain activity, and how our left brain is our really analytical brain that loves data and information, and it loves it loves numbers because they're really cut and dry. But when our left brain is going too much trying to overanalyze breastfeeding, it can actually really interfere with our milk just being able to flow and let down. And so going back to basics is a really, really beautiful way to get out of that crazy active left brain and get more into your right brain, which is more intuitive, more emotional, more connected to a sense of trust to your deeper self. And so it is a really, really important tip, that going back to basics. And we talk a lot about it in our class, different ways that you can kind of get into connection with yourself again and get into a trusting place if you feel like your analytical mind is starting to take over. And it's just like birth. I feel like that's a concept people understand a lot with birth, where you actually don't want to be in a place where your brain is really active. You don't want to be thinking and analyzing every contraction or every sensation. You want to be in a place where you're more trusting and allowing the process to unfold naturally. And breastfeeding has so many of the same hormones, and it's such a similar process. So all right.
So, you know, if you've made it to the end of this, we would like to just give you a little thank you. And we would love to invite you to come to our May 6th or June 3rd class. And as a little incentive, we'd love to give you a discount of $20 discount if you sign up by Tuesday this week. If you sign up by Tuesday, May 2nd, by the end of the day, and quote Instagram Live, we would love to offer you a $20 discount. And please feel free to share that with any expecting parents that you know. They can also reap the benefits of that discount. And so our class is normally $120, which is also really quite affordable for 3.5 hours and all the things that you get from the class. So it'll be down to $100 for you if you mention this Instagram Live. So we really hope that we can see you in our May or June class. And yeah, thanks so much for listening.
Yeah, thank you. And don't forget to, if you're if you already have your little one in arms, we meet every month for our community breastfeeding circle, which is also held at the Albers Center in Kelowna. And we also have a circle monthly called the Crunchy Mama Circle, which is a circle where we dive into different topics around holistic parenting, and it's a lot of fun. So we have different offerings. We also do home visits. We do one-to-one support for families who are struggling with breastfeeding at home. So that's that piece of, if you're having some challenges with breastfeeding, reach out early. We're here for you. And that's part of our breastfeeding class, is that we do offer a free postpartum check-in, phone call, and resources, as well as other bonuses. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, Chantal. It's lovely to connect with you here and share more about our offerings with everyone. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Sunday.
Thank you. You too. Enjoy the sunshine.
Thank you. I will. You too. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining.